Hi, I'm Dave, and welcome to Nomad Nation Shop Talk. Here on Shop Talk, we're going to cover everything from repairs to upgrades, maintenance, anything and everything off-road related. But first, let me tell you about how you can win your very own Milwaukee 18-volt cordless impact gun. Stay tuned to the end of the video, and we'll show you how. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Gorden, owner of Off Road Nomads, and welcome to Nomad Nation Shop Talk. On our very first episode, we've got my very good friend Darron Woy. So he was there when Off Road Nomads started.
Yeah. We were out on the trails at S'more getting some Jeep badges, hitting the Badge of Honor trails, having some fun and just doing the normal thing and doing trail talk.
Yeah.
It's amazing how trail talk is more difficult when there's a camera on you.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Well, and if you remember, Darron, too, we had after we were all through, we were talking about doing the Badge of Honors and kind of doing a whole tour and trying to get them all. I don't remember, there's 54 or 57, some.
They keep adding more.
Yeah, they keep adding more. So we talked about doing the, trips as a group of friends just to get all these different Badge of Honor. Ultimately ending at the Rubicon Trail would be kind of our last, that's kind of the goal we were going for. And I seem to remember at the end when we were all talking, setting up a group Facebook page.
Right.
And, for events and whatnot.
We started with a group text that we said, yeah, that'll work. And then all of a sudden, here's a Facebook page, and then here's a group. And then, oh my, we just kind of kept rolling from there, didn't we?
Yep. So, we Off Road Nomads, we kind of broke away from the pack a little bit. We kind of just did our own thing. We didn't, and at the time there were, Darron and I are both members of a local Jeep club. And at the time, because of COVID and everything else going on in the world, nobody was really getting together and doing much of anything. So we decided we were just going to do something ourselves.
How can you social distance better?
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's exactly right, man. You can, when you're talking to each other over a ham radio or a CV radio, so, and we had a ball that day. I mean, it was a beautiful day, and we had, nobody had any real mechanical issues. We were all over the park, and it was a lot of fun.
My wife, within a month, said, when you got a Jeep, I didn't know that meant you were going to be going wheeling every weekend.
Yeah. Well, and for those of you tuning in on the YouTube channel, this Jeep right behind us here is Darron's Jeep. It is go ahead, tell us about it.
14 JK Rubicon two-door. Got it right about a year ago, middle of COVID. Needed something different to just kind of have some fun.
Don't tell that. You tell the real story about how you got this thing.
Fine. I took my Acura in for an oil change, and this was sitting at the back of the lot. It had been 15 years since I had owned a Wrangler.
What? I'll stop you there. Why had it been 15 years since you owned a Wrangler?
Because I broke it and couldn't afford to fix it, and it sat in storage.
You didn't break it. You rolled it. Or is that a different one?
That's a second story.
All right,
yeah,
I got you.
So
okay.
it turned into a trail toy after the roll, and then with a Stroker 4.6 4-liter conversion, the Dana 35 and Detroit locker on 35s just didn't quite handle everything, and it would just. I broke it good one day, and then it sat in storage for 2 years, and I finally actually ended up selling it to my brother, and he managed to put it back together and played with it for a while.
Yeah.
But life being life, we went through the regular cars for a while, and I had to get back into a Jeep. And
so you're at the dealership, and you were getting an oil change on your Acura, and you saw this thing.
It was just sitting at the back of the lot all lonely. You couldn't go inside, so I'm walking around the lot, 20 degrees out, windy, and I look inside, and it's a loaded up Rubicon two-door. I looked it up on their website, and they had it priced great, then priced it better. They were wanting to sell a car because they weren't selling many cars then. So took it for a test drive. It had been 15 years since I'd driven a short wheelbase vehicle. I'm like, oh, this is kind of twitchy. It's a little weird. And
I bet that's what your wife says about you.
Well,
Was she with you when you were there?
She was not.
So did you was it better to ask for permission or forgiveness on this?
It's always better to ask for permission, Dave.
Hi, Chris. I love you. So you were getting your oil change, you test drove it, then you called your wife, or?
So actually, the test drive didn't happen until I left after the oil change because they didn't have salespeople on the floor. You had to call in, make appointments, that kind of stuff. So I did the entire deal over the phone, pending a test drive, and test drove it. It was a little twitchy. I wasn't quite sure what was going on, but it had just been a while. I didn't know how to drive a Jeep anymore. Driving home, I'm on the highway and pass a semi truck and about veer off the road, and it's just, there's something not right here. So we're at 3 inches of lift and 35-inch tires on stock control arms. Yeah. And my caster was sitting somewhere around 0. And it was just, literally you touch the wheel and it would jump, and you touch the wheel and it would jump. Yeah. So put some control arms on it. Just, it sits kind of how I bought it, other than some tweaks here and there. I did the control arms, managed to crush that beautiful JK steering stabilizer that for some reason they decided to hang lower than the axle even is. Yeah. So you crush that thing. Why don't you tell everybody how you crush that thing? So playing night run down at K-Rocks, we got on a black trail that I didn't know was a black trail. Of course, I'm leading with my buddy that hadn't been wheeling in his Wrangler at all yet. That was his shakedown run. Yeah. Get down on a black trail, and I come up a ledge, and I can probably make this, but then figured out I couldn't, came down to back off of it, and that ledge had a point on it. And just caught me right there on the stabilizer and the tie rod and everything, and got a stabilizer flip kit, put it on. That stabilizer was leaky, so I drove around for a couple days without a stabilizer. I bet that was fun. Oh, something else was going on too, but wasn't. Yeah, it was your tie rod. Yeah, you know what, guys? If Dave says it's your tie rod, it's your tie rod. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I remember that phone call. I was fighting it. I was fighting the death wobble. And I was sure I was going to have to do ball joints or something, but the tie rod seemed good. Dave actually came over to my garage. We're laying under the Jeep, and he's going, dude, it's your tie rod, I'm telling you. In Dave's not so subtle ways. So we run and grab a tie rod and get it all put together, and sure enough, death wobble goes away. And you want to know the other thing? Steering stabilizer by itself does not do what, Dave? It doesn't do anything. It doesn't cure death wobble. No, it does not cure death wobble. It may mask it a little bit, but steering stabilizer, unless it's completely disassembled and not connected at all, a bad steering stabilizer does not cause death wobble. Right. It's usually some other component contributing to it, like your tie rod or ball joints or drag link. It could be 20 different things. You never know. So anyway, and Darron and I and the rest of our group kind of became, because some of us didn't know each other when we first started. I met you that day. We actually met that day, and your brother Dustin was out there with us, and we also had our friend John, and we just kind of all got together and met down there, and ever since then we've been annoying the crap out of each other and having fun. And Darron has jumped in and helped out here at the shop from time to time, and it's just as a matter of fact, this Saturday we're going to be at Frostbite, right? Which is a big off-road event down at Kansas Rocks in Randolph. Is it Randolph? No, Mapleton. Mapleton. I'm thinking of it's in Mapleton, Kansas. I don't know where. I don't know what time zone I'm in. It's that way. Yeah, it's that way. So anyway, our group of friends kind of grew into a handful more of people that we've been to. We went to Hot Springs, Arkansas. We went to
Oklahoma for the Jeep Jamboree down there. And we've all just kind of traveled together. We do have some plans coming up to do some other trips, maybe to Moab, some of the other Badge of Honor trails. Yeah, we talked about Windrock, possibly. So, but Saturday, the band's kind of getting back together again, and most of us Russell's going to be out there and wheeling and having a good time, and we're going to have plenty of good footage, so make sure that you tune in, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit the bell to get notifications for the latest videos. And Darren, what else you got?
I've always wanted to say it. Like, subscribe, and share.
There you go. Like, subscribe, and share.
Yeah. I seem to remember saying, "Hey, Dave, we should start up a YouTube channel." You telling me, "Nah, nobody watches that stuff."
That doesn't sound like something. That sounds exactly like something I would say. But no, I mean, really opening the shop, and you guys, my friends, have been an inspiration to. You guys were there in the beginning, and it just kind of inspired. And somebody said something like, "Man, that's a really cool name." So I trademarked it and decided that, it went from, we were going to build a website with some informational things, a calendar for events and all. And then one day I woke up and said, I want to open a shop. There's a huge need for good shops in our area. There's a few of them out there, but there's really, we're in a very underserved area. And so, that's part of the reason I chose this location. And, we've had a huge response. For those of you that are watching, thank you for your business. Thank you for being my customers and my friends. For those of you that haven't been in here yet, feel free to stop by, give us a call. If you're having trouble, we'll help you out. We're always glad to talk a little bit of off-roading. And, so if you guys are out on the trails and you see one of us out there, look for that windshield sticker. And, we're more than happy to have you guys join us. We do it all the time. We usually start out with 3 or 4 or 5 of us, and we wind up with anywhere from, 5 to 20 rigs in a line. Just go, we're always glad to meet new people, and always glad to share the experience of off-roading with others.
That's the most fun.
It is. I mean, that's the best part about it. I tell you what, I got my 17 JKU last year, and I'll tell you, that's the reason that we became friends. I wouldn't know most of the people that I've met without it. The Jeep community is something that is way different than anybody else. I mean, you get on social media, and I see it all the time. People, they get on there. It's happened, especially during the snowstorms and stuff, to say, "Help, my Jeep won't start," or "Help, I need the," and you get 15 responses in 10 minutes. People you don't even know,
right?
And they're willing to drive 100 miles to help you out. I mean, that's very rare this day and age, and that is definitely a Jeep thing. I mean, that's there's with Frostbite coming up. There was a post earlier today where somebody said, "Hey, I really want to go to Frostbite, but I need a trailer or something." And there was 2 or 3 people on there that volunteered to let somebody borrow their trailer to tow their rig down so they could go to Frostbite. Right. We got a couple of rigs in here that we're working really hard to get them ready by tomorrow afternoon so that the customer come pick it up and head to Frostbite. So there's a lot of pressure in the shop right now.
Yeah.
But we're getting them out of there. We get them out on time, and we do the very best work that we can. So, that's being a part of the off-road and Jeep community is like no other.
Hey, Dave, my stereo isn't turning up all the way. Is it my tie rod?
It's your tie rod. It's your tie rod.
This was fun. Have a good one, man.
Yeah, man. Awesome. So thanks for watching. But before you go, let me tell you how you can win the Milwaukee Fuel 18-volt cordless half-inch impact gun. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible, and we need your help. If you're one of those first 1,000 subscribers, you will automatically be entered to win the Milwaukee 18-volt cordless impact gun. This thing has got over 1,400 pounds of torque, it's valued over $500, and it can be yours. Go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss one of our videos. And leave us a comment, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you in the next video.